Hello, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz and I will be guiding you on this journey. We have a couple decks and as always, we're going to ask for consent from the deck that we're going to use for these readings because, we want to be sure that the deck even has a message, that it has the energy to give us a message. So I basically just shuffle until a yes or a no card comes out. And this is a deck that I was looking for. And it was like way in the back of this one shelf that I have all of my decks on that I've been kind of transferring to this other shelf. Anyway, in the process of finding it, a couple other decks went flying. So that was fun. I'm like, I know I'm not going through all of this just for you to say no to me. So, which it has the freedom to do. So, anyway, I was like, what am I talking about? I've been kind of doing a little disclaimer at the beginning, just so we're all on the same page. We have the star. That's a yes card. Okay, good. So, we'll save these two decks for another time. So yeah, disclaimers. I'm not a psychic. I'm certainly not claiming to be, but I know these cards and my intention is to give you the message as it is coming through on the card and as it's coming through for me. I always set the intention for the message to come through me, not from me. So however which way and as many different times that comes through, I do like to explain the message of each card because not only does it help me process my thoughts, but you have your own intuition. You're the one that's living your life. So no doubt you are going to receive your own message. Now, of course, be discerning. Don't try to fit a small peg into a round hole. Really listen to that distant voice, not the loud one, not that loud one that most of us have, but the one for me, it's always like off to the right back of my head. And, it's literally, it's like just, it's neutral. It's confident. It's like, it's free of, ego, emotion, all the things, right? So that is the voice that we want to tap into, even if we sometimes don't like what it is saying. Of course, if you haven't already, I would absolutely adore you. Well, I adore you anyway, but I would adore you even more if you subscribe to my channel. Truly, it is an energy exchange. And of course it helps me grow. So it's, just this circle of, growth, because hopefully these messages are affirming or confirming for you, because sometimes too, we just need to have confirmation or affirmation that what we think is going on is actually going on. And that way it frees up the mind space. It frees up our energetic space to be able to focus on the next thing. And truly, I do think that at least the messages that I give are more so along those lines, so that you can be like, oh, okay, that is actually happening. So what's next, right? Like, what do I want to do with this? What can I now focus my time, my energy, my everything on, instead of like staying in this this loop of, is this happening or no? And with all that being said, I know I also didn't get around to the human design profile readings last time around. Life, we roll with it. So hopefully I'll be able to get around to those this time, because I'm sure those were missed. And okay, let's get into the reading. Great. So this is the reading for Libra. wherever Libra is in your chart. I hope that you're all doing well. Let's get some cards out for you and see what is up with Libra. I feel like Libra has been working through some stuff over the last couple months. Libra. We have the Six of Cups. The card of the past, nostalgia, old shit, basically. And even, you know, we have this whale, if you can see that, that is like coming up between, or like in the middle of this platform, whatever it is. So, you know, again, I mean, it could just be some old stuff coming up for you. The Tower. Yeah. But I love that the Tower is on fire because it is like, I just like immediately heard burning away. There's a full moon there. Like, is there a full moon? Tomorrow? Let me see. Yeah, there's a full moon tomorrow. And full moons are about releasing, letting go. The Queen of Swords. What is this? A two of something. Judgment. Strength. The Fool. What is this a two of? Two. I'm just going to be doing this in every single reading. I haven't used this deck since probably 2023. And yeah, and I'm like, wait, what is this? Let's see. Two of Wands, I believe, maybe? Yeah. But interesting, though, how she's got her head in this cage, which feels like kind of Juggernaut from 13 Ghosts, you know? I don't know why my mind like immediately went there, but were they going to make a series out of that or something on Netflix? I feel like I saw something about that. Anyway, I also, you know, I feel like that you are gaining some type of new perspective here, though, or discovering like a new truth, even maybe arriving at a new truth for yourself. I kind of love how like peaceful and like grounded and centered the Queen of Swords feels in this spread. Because like, you know, the Six of Cups, it's like purposefully bringing something up. And two, like whether it's you doing that just through your own self-reflection. I mean, you know, like maybe you are doing some inner child work, or even the internal family parts. Is that keeps like coming up around me too. Like I've heard it a few times in like close proximity, where, you know, it's the idea that, here's the definition of it. Internal family systems therapy views the mind as a collection of diverse quote-unquote parts, each with its own unique role and function, like family members in a household. These parts can be categorized as managers, firefighters, and exiles, which can be taught or which can be thought of as protective, reactive, and wounded parts, respectively. IFS therapy aims to help individuals understand and heal these parts, ultimately leading to a greater internal harmony and well-being. Because truly, right? I mean, like, there are multiple different voices that I'm just kind of chuckling because it's like not multiple personalities, like not like that, but I mean, like you have, maybe the voice of your mother or your father in your head, and maybe the voice of a sibling or friend or teacher or just something, and they've all kind of taken on these roles within you, and it's like identifying each one of those things and the role that it plays, and how that shapes and really almost kind of dictates what you do and what you don't do. It's all like ego work. It's a different way of identifying that. So anyway, like with these all these people, and now I'm going to start coughing. So out of nowhere too, like what is that? Usually when that happens, that tells me that there is something that is not being said. Or like an expression that you are not allowing yourself to do. But again, right? I mean, we have all these people around this whale that's breaching, or whatever you call that. And there's like smoke coming out of like all of their bowls. Like it almost kind of feels like a ritual or something to me, but clearly like there is something coming up for you, and maybe it does have to do with multiple different areas of your life, of your psyche, of your story. I mean, maybe it has to do with specific people that have a role in whatever, has developed your psyche. Whatever it is. Again, the Six of Cups is the card of the past. So some old shit is coming up. Good, bad, otherwise. I mean, it doesn't have to be bad. It might be because we have the Tower card next to it, which is Mars, which is Aries or Scorpio. Where is Mars right now, though? Let's see. Is it in Leo? Yeah. It's at like the end of Leo. 26 degrees. That's fun. That's like squaring my sun and my Chiron. Cool. But, like wherever Leo is for you, if you know, like what house Leo occupies for you. But the Tower card is like sudden change, sudden upheaval. It's, structures crumbling, timelines collapsing. I just heard like a clap in my head, like just all of a sudden. You think the oceanic, what was that oceanic, the little submarine that like tried to go down to the Titanic, and literally in an instant it imploded. Like that's like the Tower. It literally can happen just like that. Even too, like with a wildfire, which, of course, like sending out all my love to anybody that is affected by wildfires, because I think that they're there are some wildfires in like Canada, but you think wildfire, right? I mean, it can spread. And too, with wildfires, there's literally almost nothing that they can do except for try to minimize damage. Like they don't even try to put out wildfires, right? Like again, they try to minimize the damage. They try to almost like deflect, like where the fire is going. But it's like nearly impossible to actually stop a wildfire until it basically kind of puts itself out, which is also why they are so chaotic and damaging and terrifying, right? So anyway, all that shit to say, like with the Tower card. Also though, the thing with the Tower card, it is only going to affect the things that are no longer serving you. And no doubt we had been given multiple opportunities to see the thing, to let go of the thing prior to the Tower having to happen. Because, life has a way of clearing things out. Also, too, since we were talking about wildfires, you know how they do like controlled burns? And there was like this whole, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember it, but there was this like whole story that I remember hearing about where they would like, I don't even know if it was real or if it was like just one of those like anecdotal like things, but where they would like intentionally burn a meadow, and then like the next season, right, like it grew back lush and beautiful, and like animals started to come back. And sure, like just as devastating as a wildfire can be, in the wake of it is beauty, like it burns away old shit. Also too, even like how dangerous like old brush, like dead grass and weeds and trees and like whatever, like how damaging that is to an ecosystem. So the fire comes through, takes all that out, but in the process it like also germinates seeds. And because after a fire you're left with what, like carbon and blah blah blah, whatever sciencey shit like happens, like as a result of, or like the what is the word I'm looking for, like the leftovers, or like what is left as a result of like brush being burnt up and stuff. Like I hope you know what I'm talking about, because I kind of lost it in there because I just don't know the vocabulary around it, but I'm like, I can see it in my head, I just don't know the vocabulary to put like the correct words to that. So yeah, like the Tower card is usually kind of looked at as being like a not a good time. But on the other side of the Tower card though, especially even in this reading, we have the Queen of Swords on the other side of it. Let's see. The Tower says calamity, upheaval, survival, and endurance. White doves escape a ruinous fire. A tower crumbles in the face of the moon. Even in dire calamity, hope will survive. Your heart might sink to see the tower as it marks a coming disruption. Remember that no matter how bleak a situation becomes, you will not only survive what is to come, but prosper and grow. Your scars will be badges that attest to your fortitude. New growth requires destruction, right? We were just talking about that. And old ideals cannot reign forever without becoming decrepit and toxic. That's it. See, like the tower is only going to affect what is no longer serving you. And there's old patterns of behavior here, old thought patterns, old, even since it's cups, it has to do with our heart chakra and love and our emotions, empathy, compassion, right? Like, and whatever beliefs that you have around those could be changing. Give careful consideration to the doves that escape the woes below with ease. They represent that seed of optimism that can never be destroyed. And with the Queen of Swords here, like I see the queens as being when we embody the energy of the suit ourselves. We recognize the energy within ourselves. We learn to work with it. We learn to master it. And then, we move on to the King, where we share that with other people and become an authority or, some figure that people look up to or look to for advice. But also this queen, she has her eyes closed. And there's this eye, that's hovering above her palm. And to me, that feels like, crown and third eye chakras, higher consciousness, intuition, inner vision. The Queen of Swords is sometimes depicted as like a cold bitch too, which, sure, but also, you cannot bullshit a bullshitter. And, the sword there is her being like, don't try me. Like, don't, it is cutting through what is not true, either for yourself, for other people. There's a sense of like authenticity here too, and boundaries. She's not even holding the sword in a defensive manner either. It's just, it's there should she need it. But to me, it feels like the focus is on intuition. Maybe too, it's like, laying your sword down. Like if you have been guarded, armored, a cold bitch, it's like there's a sense of trusting yourself, like trusting your own inner guidance, not being bamboozled or manipulated, right? Like being able to see through it. Even like this Two of Wands, there's these, if you can see this, like right when I looked at the card, my attention went right to her eyes. There's like these spotlights that are coming out of her eyes. And to me, it almost kind of feels like being focused. The Two of Wands talks about planning for the future, the possibilities, like what you want to put action into, what motivates you. And like I said, right, I love that even though there is this cage on top of her, like the door is open, and really, she could take the cage off if she wanted to. But even if we leave the cage on, for comfort or whatever, right? Like the door is still open. There is still, this focus here happening. Even again, making plans for what you want to do next. The Judgment card, transformation, decision, clarity, change, consequence. A soldier comforts his weeping friend as a Valkyrie looms above. She wears the crown of Anubis, gatekeeper of the underworld. You will likely identify with either the soldier or the Valkyrie in this card. By acting swiftly, you may make a decision of great importance now. It will not be without consequence, but if you do not take control, life certainly will, which is interesting that we have the Tower card out here. Certain change is imminent, the kind that will leave you rattled. This does not mean change is negative, for even if it is out of your hands, this could provide the burst of inspiration that you need. Veils will be lifted and your path will become clear. And it could just be because you're open to it. Because it's like that whole like the flower blooming thing, and like again, like I can't think of exactly like how the saying goes, but it's something like a flower blooms because I'm not even sure if I would be able to Google it because I don't know if I have enough to put into Google, but something like it's like more uncomfortable not to bloom than it is to bloom. And that's kind of like, you know, the energy of like staying in one spot has become so uncomfortable, and there is this shakeup, you know, that's happening, and you can look at it as a victim of it, or you can look at it as an opportunity, as, you know, a fire being put under your ass that you needed. You know, the Strength card here, resilience, inner strength, following your heart. The Fool card behind that, a leap of faith. Trusting, surrendering, going for it, right? Allowing yourself to move forward, to bloom. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.